Hi, I'm Will Buchanan. I'm walking all the way across the country to New Hampshire for more freedom on a project called the Walk for Liberty. Today is November 17th, 2008, day 194. You don't see those giant satellite dishes very often anymore. It's intriguing how the market, even if it's no longer completely free, continues to operate despite all the hurdles, restrictions, and even outright bans that government puts in front of it. That's because individuals and businesses have a strong incentive to work around government. Profit. Take that giant satellite dish that you saw earlier as an example. Large satellite dishes like those may have been created in response to a government restriction. Back when cable TV was first coming out, most local governments issued cable companies a government monopoly to operate in their area. Because they didn't have any real competition for good quality television signals, their prices were probably higher than what would have been the case in a free market. So therefore, other companies saw a market opportunity. And that may have been how the large dish satellite TV industry was born. Unfortunately, government stepped in the way again. The surface reason was supposedly because people didn't like to see large satellite dishes on other people's private property. But I wouldn't be surprised if the initiatives were secretly driven or funded by the cable companies themselves, who didn't like the competition that the satellite TV companies gave them. In any case, many local governments started to ban large satellite dishes. Fortunately, technology and the market came to the rescue again. As companies such as DirecTV and the Dish Network sprung up, which allowed people to again have an alternative to cable with much, much smaller and much cheaper dishes. And now there's even another alternative to the government cable monopoly, with many companies offering TV programming directly over the internet. There are many other examples of the market coming to the rescue to help people avoid government interference. One is regarding the theft that government calls taxes. When I lived in New York City, I had many friends tell me that there are businesses in Chinatown which you can purchase from and avoid paying sales tax. And the internet again comes to the rescue here. There are many online businesses you can purchase from where you don't have to pay sales tax. Additionally, there are many ways to earn an income online in which there's no IRS withholding. So it's much easier to avoid paying income tax as opposed to working at a physical business where your income does get withheld. Another example is with so-called vice crimes, such as drugs, prostitution, and gambling. From my understanding, crack cocaine and crystal meth were created in direct response to the government's war on drugs. Those substances are more potent and easier to transport than the originals. And that's also an example of where government restrictions push people to more dangerous alternatives. Sometimes it's a matter of trying to mask the illegal activity. In the prostitution field, there are massage parlors, which cover up the fact that prostitution often takes place there. And in gambling, the internet again steps in. even with the recent federal ban on banks and credit card companies making payments to gambling websites, it's my understanding that other ways have been worked out to make payments to get around the federal ban. Did you observe that in all of the above activities, no one was actually harming anyone else in any of them? They were all ways in which the not-so-free market was working out possibilities for people to avoid the government in what are effectively victimless crimes. And note that the internet played a large role in many of the above examples. I think going on into the future, the internet will be an ever larger factor in people trying to avoid the government. The government can never stop people from doing things. Especially with victimless crimes, many people will always do what they want to. It's just that if the government finds out, it will punish them for taking that action of hurting no one. Fortunately, the market, and especially the internet, will always be there to help people avoid the government and live their lives in the way they prefer. I'm going to stop a little early today. I walked 9.5 miles for Liberty. Here are my GPS coordinates. If you do any of your shopping online, please consider purchasing through amazon.walkforliberty.com, and the Walk for Liberty will receive a percentage of your purchase price. Amazon, Amazon, Amazon.walkforliberty.com.